Alright, Chris, this is for you. Last time we came, there was no water in Uwharrie. Now we've got running water everywhere after Hurricane Florence. That's just two creeks, and I'm not even at Spencer Creek yet, which is where I'm gonna camp. Alright, this is the legendary only bridge that you can find on the Uwharrie Trail. It goes over Spencer Creek, which is pretty full right now from Hurricane Florence. And my campsite is going to be right up here, a little bit down the trail. Right down there. So it looks like I'm sharing my campsite right by the creek. I'm sharing my campsite with this guy. That's a copperhead. So, and he's starting to move a little bit. That's not what you want to see. But I know he's there. He knows I'm here. And we're just going to leave it at that. Okay, here's my campsite. I just finished putting everything together. Here's my chair and my hammock. Got the tarp put up nice and tight in case it rains. Here's all the firewood I've collected. I'll be lighting a little fire in this ring that somebody left. It's kind of a mess right now, but I'll tidy it up. I'll do that about dinner time. And the creek's right back there. This is Spencer Creek. That's some nice white noise to fall asleep to tonight and tomorrow night. I'm planning to do a day hike tomorrow. I'd say no more than 10 miles. I'll come right back to this spot. And my little friend, the copperhead, is still hanging out right there by the creek. I'm just glad I'm off the ground tonight, and hopefully this guy will just stay there and leave me alone like he has been. Gotta respect each other. Alright, it is about 7:15 and I've got my fire ready to go. I'm just going to light that in a few minutes. And it's not cold tonight. It's going to get down to the 60s, but you just can't go backpacking without making a fire. It's just not right. They call it the backpacker's TV. Something to look at. The creek's right over there. You can hear it. You can hear it. And the sun is setting somewhere behind those trees. That's my hammock over there. I'm making my fire all the way over here so that I don't smoke myself out of the hammock later. And I've got a whole lot of extra wood to burn. That'll be for tomorrow night too. Paradise. Alright. The dryer lint is lit with the help of a little alcohol. And we'll see how this goes to the next level. We have ignition. This is the patented Chris Lathrop upside down fire. Big logs are on the bottom, small twigs are on the top, and as the top layers burn, they collapse onto the bottom ones and set those on fire, and so on until it all collapses on itself, and it's supposed to burn long, burn hot, and not create a whole lot of ash and smoke in the process. Alright. Had to add a few more twigs to it, but the fire is running itself now. That's definitely a lot more interesting to look at than, you know, TV. Alright, there's the moon. Right through those trees. And this is my TV set. I love this show. It's got some hot chocolate right here. I just gotta stir up. And I've got my jungle juice that I'll drink while I'm out here. You can hear the creek behind me. Looking forward to falling asleep to that tonight. Hey Liz, this is Nestor in the Uwharrie forest. I'm at my campsite. I don't know if you can see my hammock, but the creek is on the other side of those trees there. You can probably hear it, along with some crickets. That's my backpack. Anyway, we were talking about my the way that I cook with my alcohol stove. So I'm going to do a little demonstration here because I'm getting ready to have some oatmeal for breakfast and I need to boil some water for that. So here we go. Here's my little stove. It's the bottom of that Barbasol can, like I said. I kind of chopped it off and lined the inside with this carbon felt material. Might be hard to see on the video, but it's that black stuff on the inside. I put it on a little piece of aluminum flashing. I made a little disc because in the winter, if it's sitting on cold ground, it keeps the alcohol too cold, and then it won't ignite. Here's the alcohol. It's about a 6-ounce bottle, but I will just put enough up to the inside rim. Okay, and then here's my pot. I already got water in it. That's 12 ounces. That's what I need for my oatmeal. Here's the aluminum windscreen I made. That goes right around the stove. I've got 2 of my titanium tent stakes that I use for various things around camp. But I need some holes to use them as pot supports. Alright, then I'll use my handy dandy magnesium lighter to get the stove lit. So I'm going to try to do this with you on the camera, but let's see how this works. Okay, it's lit. You can probably see a little bit of the flame. Yep. Okay, so now we'll put the windscreen over that. And the pot goes on top of that. Now I'm actually going to time this and see how long it takes to get that water boiling. I'll be back. Okay, so that took about 10 minutes or so, and you can see we got a nice rolling boil here. So, what do we do with this water now? I've got my freezer bag with my oatmeal ingredients in there, and a reminder of how much I need to put in there. But it's oatmeal. It's my power oatmeal recipe, so it's got the vanilla protein powder in there, cinnamon, nutmeg, chia, flax, a little bit of salt and sugar. And I'm going to put it inside this foil cozy that I made out of it's car windshield sun reflector material. So I'm going to put the bag inside there. I'm trying to do this while holding the camera. So that's in there now. And now I'm going to dump the water in there. Give me a second. Okay. So water's in there. Now I'm going to seal it up and let it sit for a while. And by the way, that little amount of fuel is still burning. So it's crazy how long it lasts, and I think that the carbon felt wick has something to do with it. But I'm going to save that, so I'm going to go ahead and extinguish that. Alright, Nestor here, getting ready to go on my day hike on Saturday. I need to fill up some water first before we go, so Here's a quick lesson on how we get water in the backcountry. First of all, you need to be near, preferably some fresh flowing water, like this nice creek we've got here, Spencer Creek. And this is my setup. I've got a 3-liter water bladder. This one's made by Platypus. I really like this one because it opens from the top like a big Ziploc bag, and you can open the top really wide and then just scoop up water from the creek. It's a lot easier than pumping. You can get a lot of water in one shot. So I've got it hooked up with a, this is the Sawyer Mini water filter. This is an awesome filter because it only costs about 20 bucks at Walmart, and it filters everything except viruses, which we don't really need to worry about in the United States because our immune systems are pretty much already conditioned to handle any viruses we might get in this country. But it does get all the big stuff, bacteria, protozoa, stuff that'll make you sick. That one's worked pretty well for me. And I have it hooked up with some quick connectors. That way I can disconnect my drinking hose easily and route it through my pack. I only ever put dirty water in the bladder, so this one is just designated for dirty. Alright, let's go get some water. Alright, this looks like a pretty good spot to get some water. Nice and deep right here. So I should be able to dunk my water bladder in here. Plenty. It's about 3 liters right there, and looks a little brownish green right now, but I'm not too worried about it because this is all fresh stuff that filled up the creek during Hurricane Florence. Looks pretty clear from up here, and it's running pretty quickly, so not a whole lot is settling in it. But that'll be okay to drink once I filter it. Alright, this is what Chris calls earning the campsite. Just did about 8 miles of tough hiking, and I'm back home. And now I can, hammock's still here. Everything's already set up, so I can just take my boots off, put my trekking poles down, take the pack off, and relax. That was hard. Ooh, I wonder if my buddy, the snake, is still there. Oh my god, yeah. Still there. Although he's stretched out a bit. I can't tell that he's eaten anything, but probably has. At least he keeps the mice away from the campsite. Alright. Good day. Day 2, or night 2 rather. Fire is started. to cook dinner. Do some ramen noodles tonight and some mac and cheese with tuna fish. Burned a lot of calories today, so I gotta eat a lot. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, the fire's going pretty good right now. And I've got my ramen noodles ready to eat. Good stuff. Tuna mac. Fire. Okay, so let's talk about what do you do with your food when you're outdoors like this. Food, unfortunately, has smells that can attract animals, including raccoons, mice, and bears. So a good habit is to learn how to hang your food in a tree far enough away from the tree that an animal can't reach it from the tree, and also high up enough that an animal can't reach it from the ground. So hikers on the Pacific coast that are used to grizzly bears have developed a technique called the PCT bear hang. That's for Pacific Crest Trail, and they've figured out a way to get it to hang in midair so nothing can get to it. So we're going to show you how that works. The first thing is to get your bear line thrown up over a tree branch that is sufficiently high enough. This one's probably about 15 feet up, which is pretty much perfect. And I use this orange reflective line. That way I can find it at night too. It lights up when I shine my flashlight on it. So I gotta put the camera down to get there. But what you can see is that there's a carabiner that's holding that my bag's attached to at the end of the line. And I've got a piece of PVC pipe about 2 inches long with a hole in it that the line's threaded through. And the pipe acts as a stopper. So when I pull the bag up, the stopper only lets it go up so high, and the whole setup is pretty lightweight, and the whole thing fits in this little stuff sack that I made that I used to throw the rock up. I put actually this is the rock that I used last night, and that just went inside this little pouch. Attached the carabiner to the lanyard and threw it up over the tree branch. Seems to be working pretty well.